Hey Macdara, how you doing?
Yeah, good, George. How are you?
I'm good, but most importantly, hello to everyone who's listening and watching.
Yep, absolutely. Greetings, everyone. We know there's a huge amount of content out there online in terms of things to read, things to listen to, and things to watch. So we very much appreciate everyone's time, spending that time with us. But, George, tell us, what are we doing here?
Well, I ask myself that question every day, Macdara, but I guess putting that philosophical debate to one side for another day, I think the purpose of this episode is for us to do some introductions to us, for those that may not know us, to our new venture, Polaris Praxis, and then also to explain what we're going to try and do with this new series that we're very excited about called Culture Conversations. I guess putting the series to one side just for a second, it's probably worth us just spending a few minutes letting people know a bit about us as individuals. So, starting with you, Macdara, do you want to just, tell those listening and watching a bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So my background was in, primarily financial services, investment banking, on the operations side. So managing teams regionally, globally, and supporting the business. Um, I then worked for fintech for a little while, and also I've run my own business for a number of years. So fairly varied background, but what I always enjoyed in all of those roles was the people side. So really building a team, building that engagement, that trust with my direct reports and my broader team, helping them grow and develop and obviously achieve all the business goals, that come with that, but starting with that real people element to it. How about you, George?
Yes, and thank you, Macdara. So I think probably the earlier part of our career is very similar, and that's obviously where we know each other from, is working in that space. And then our careers took a different path, right? So I went into the more onto the consultancy side, which involved, more selling, more relationship management, some delivery work. But I think through all of that, I maintained that common interest or common thread that you were articulating around people, culture, behavior, leadership, and actually some of the work that I was selling or helping to design and deliver was around kind of that people kind of side of things. Um, so I guess mixing it up a little bit, Macdara,
Yeah.
is there something that you could share with everyone that they may not know about you?
Yeah, so I would struggle with this, but a couple of things, I guess that would be good. Are first of all, I grew up in a place called Navan in Ireland, which is a kind of fairly small town. But first of all, Navan is a palindrome, which means it's a word which is spelled the same way backwards as it is forwards. So there's a little bit of general knowledge for everybody. And secondly, it is the birthplace of the Irish 007, Mr. Pierce Brosnan, which is probably not as well known either. So he grew up there and is a very proud Meath man, just as I am. What have you got, George, on that front?
So as you had two, I'm also going to have two as well. And as it's our podcast, we can bend the rules a
We
little
make the
bit.
rules here, George. Yeah.
Exactly. So the first fact that people may not know about me, or they may know if they've known me for any length of time. So when I was much, much younger, I did a season working abroad in Malia in Crete. So I saw what I would probably say is a different side to people, and that's probably a conversation for another day.
Might be a bit
Um,
X-rated, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But some people may not know that. The other one is I'm a massive fan of the US Office. So what you can expect, and it might be a bit toe curling and cringy, but I do tend to kind of weave in some, quotes from Michael Scott and Dwight and some clips and some imagery. So just brace yourself for that.
Okay. Well, I'll have to get. I've not really actually watched the US Office. I've watched obviously Ricky Gervais and the English one, but never the US one.
That is definitely some homework.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely.
Done. It's on the list.
Okay. Um, So now we're all friends, Macdara. Over the last few days, I've been getting a few questions around what does Polaris Praxis mean?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll take that one. Um, so Polaris is the Latin for North Star, and we've come up with that because a lot of organizations, when they're looking for help, it's because they have a challenge in terms of reaching their goals and what they've, effectively designed as their kind of North Star. So we are interested in helping them to achieve that. Praxis is a Greek word, which gone heavy on the classics here, but it's about the practice, not the theory. So you and I are very hands-on people who like to get involved, meet people where they're at, and have those conversations and take action. So it's about helping people get where they want to go in a very practical way. That's not just all about theory and fancy PowerPoints and all the rest of it. So that's what it is.
Okay, awesome. So I think it's probably worth just spending then, now we've kind of introduced ourselves and kind of, the new venture a little bit about what we're trying to do, right? So, we've already mentioned that a common thread that unites us as individuals and friends and ex-colleagues, that thread that really has united us is culture, behavior and leadership, but through a people kind of lens and a people focus. And we're really keen to work with ambitious organizations to really help them unlock strategy, to shift culture, and to deliver that enduring change and business outcomes that can really kind of be achieved through focusing on that people side of things. And in this series specifically, so Culture Conversations, we intend to discuss hot topics that will hopefully resonate with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We want everyone to be a part of this. It's not just about you and I, sitting here chatting in a vacuum. We really want to give things to people that they can take away. So some tips and tricks and insights and things that we've done or that we know about, that we've seen, that have been effective. So really interested to get engagement from folks as well. So to send in topics that they would like us to discuss, and any questions they'd like us to answer. We'd really appreciate them, either DMing us or leaving a comment, so that we can, tackle that as well.
Yeah, and great points, Macdara. And it would probably be remiss of me not to do the usual vodcast thing of saying, please like, share,
Absolutely.
comment, subscribe, all of that stuff.
All of the above?
All of the above. It all helps, right? And we'd really appreciate it. But equally, something that also unites us is that we are really keen to hear feedback and then adapt to feedback. So if you have any feedback on what we're doing, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever it might be, we'd love to hear it. We are probably going to make some slip ups, whether that be audio, video,
really?
content. Well, yeah, hopefully not, but we will. We know we will. As we're new to this, right? So please kind of bear with us. So time for the grand unveiling, Macdara. What is going to be the first topic that we'll cover in our first proper episode?
So yeah, drum roll here, George. So it's going to be around professional curiosity. So that's something that we've been discussing recently in some of our posts, and it's a topic that's out there at the moment, and I think is one we're really looking forward to digging a little deeper into. So it'd be great to hear from folks if they have any questions around that topic, any particular areas of that they'd like us to look at, and obviously any other topics for any future episodes. It'd be great to hear from people around what they'd want to hear about.
That's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I know you are, Macdara, and hopefully others are too. And we really look forward to connecting and engaging with you guys, whether that be virtually, whether that be in person. We can be reached, as well as DMs and emails, etc. We can be reached via LinkedIn and YouTube as well. And with that, we really just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching and listening. And I will say goodbye from him.
And goodbye from me.